Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us on a new week, new episode. And this is the last episode.
For the gays?
Yeah, for the gays. Yes, I'm sad. I did have fun looking into these cases, and I did get a lot of people inboxing me saying, thank you for bringing attention to these cases in our communities.
Are we out of Gemini season?
No, we're not. Huh, are we? Yeah, we're out. This is our last week of Gemini season. The 25th, I think, is our last day.
I thought it was the 23rd.
Oh, the 23rd? Hold on, let me look this up, guys.
Yeah.
Pause. Everybody look up when is Gemini season. Oh,
Gemini
you out of
over.
it. You out of it.
Gemini season is over what?
Yes.
The
20th.
Oh, so we've been out.
We've been out. Today is the 23rd.
Cancer season.
It's cancer. That's why we all crying. Cry baby cancers. And this episode will be released on the day of my mom's birthday. So that's why I'm calling you guys a crybaby cancer. So don't come at me. Don't come at me. But you guys are crybaby cancers. I was raised by one. You are crybaby cancers. This is the ending of Pride Month and also the ending of Gemini season. Welcome, cancers. I know my wife is very excited. The ending of Gemini season. This is not a good season for her. This case right here does deal with a gay man. I might not bring it up during the case, but I wanted guys to know this does deal with a gay man. Now let's say my favorite line. Now let's get into the episode. It's a Monday morning in New York City. The kind of morning where nothing feels out of place. The roads are already moving. The subway is already packed. And people are already late for things they can't afford to miss. A young man wakes up in Brooklyn with a full day ahead of him. He has responsibilities to handle in the morning. And later that afternoon, he's supposed to meet his mother for lunch in Manhattan. It's a normal plan, the kind of schedule that doesn't raise concerns. Nothing about this day feels different. Nothing feels like it wouldn't go as expected. Before he leaves, he even speaks with his mother. It's a short conversation, the kind you forget about because it doesn't feel important at the time. No warning, no tension, nothing that suggested that this would be the last time she hears his voice. Then he leaves home and never comes back. At first, no one thinks much of it. In New York, people get delayed all the time. Trains run behind. Phones die. Plans shift without notice. It's easy to assume he's just running late. But as the hours pass and the day starts to slip away, that explanation stops making sense. Calls go unanswered. Messages don't go through. He never shows up for his appointments. And the longer the silence continues, the more something feels wrong. Because this isn't just a delay anymore. This is someone who completely disappeared. This is the case of Rashawn Brazell. Rashawn was born in 1986 in Brooklyn, New York, and lived with his mother, Desire. He was 19 years old at the time of his disappearance. Those who knew him described him as kind, respectful, and someone who often helps others in small but meaningful ways. His mother later shared that he had once told her, "Mom, if I ever leave, I want to be remembered for great things." A statement that would take on much deeper meaning after his death. On the morning of February 14, 2005, Rashawn spoke briefly with his mother before leaving their apartment in Brooklyn. It was Valentine's Day, and he had plans for the day that included meeting with his accountant and a late lunch with his mother in Manhattan. Around 7:30 a.m., someone rang the buzzer. Rashawn went downstairs. Witnesses later report seeing him outside with an unidentified man. The two were seen walking away from the building together and then entering the subway system at Gates Avenue. They were later believed to have exit North Stand Avenue. Rashawn is never confirmed to be seen alive again. There are no phone calls and no arrival at either of his scheduled appointments. Within hours, concern began to grow. What intentionally seemed like a delay turns into a missing person investigation. 3 days later, on February 17th, transit workers inside a subway tunnel along a train line between North Stand Avenue and Franklin Avenue made a disturbing discovery during routine work. Inside multiple black garbage bags placed near the tracks and an emergency exit, they found human remains, including a torso, legs, and an arm. Near the remains, investigators also uncovered a black and beige MTA roster tool bag. The bag was a prototype model, one of only 15 ever made. Inside the bag was blood evidence. It suggested that the person responsible may have had knowledge or access to the subway system in a way that most people would not. Over the following days, additional remains were recovered at recycling facilities in Greenport, Brooklyn. These remains were also found inside garbage bags. By the end of February 2005, forensic testing confirmed that all of the recovered remains belonged to Rashawn Brazell. One of the most significant and disturbing details of this case was that his head was never recovered. Once Rashawn was identified, the investigators shifted from a missing person case into a homicide investigation. Detectives worked on reconstructing his final movements, focusing heavily on subway systems and the location where his remains were found. The scattered nature of the remains suggested deliberate movements across multiple locations in Brooklyn, and investigators believed that the person responsible had a level of familiarity with the transit system. Despite early attention and national cover, including features on America's Most Wanted, the case did not produce immediate arrest. There are physical evidence, but not enough to identify a suspect. Over time, leads slowed, and the case eventually went cold, remaining unsolved for more than a decade.
During this time, Rashawn's family continued pushing for answers, while the investigation remained inactive for long stretches. The case became part of a large group of Brooklyn's cold cases that were periodically reviewed as technology and investigative methods improved. In 2017, investigators began re-examining older Brooklyn homicide cases using updated forensic methods and cross-referencing evidence from multiple investigations. During this process, a name surfaced again: Kauru Gavon. Gavon had ties to the same Brooklyn neighborhood where Rashawn lived and was already known to law enforcement due to prior criminal history. He was also incarcerated in Florida on unrelated charges at the time investigators began looking more closely at him. What brought renewed attention to him was DNA evidence connected to another Brooklyn homicide case. That link prompted investigators to review his possible involvement in additional unsolved cases, including the murder of Rashawn Brazell. As detectives re-interviewed and examined his history, they reported inconsistencies in his statement when asked about his whereabouts during the time of the murder. That shift was enough for investigators to move forward with an arrest. After years of no movement in the case, Gavon was arrested and charged with the murder of Rashawn Brazell. For the first time since 2005, the case was active in a courtroom setting. Prosecutors alleged that Gavon had connections to the victim and presented circumstantial evidence tying him to the investigation. The case also drew attention because investigators believed he may have been linked to multiple Brooklyn homicides, raising the possibility of broader patterns being examined. At the time of his arrest, the case represented a major breakthrough for law enforcement and a moment of hope for Rashawn's family after more than a decade of waiting. In court, Javon denied any involvement in the murder. His defense argued that he was not in New York during key parts of the timeline and claimed he was out of state for training during that period. They also challenged the strength of the prosecutor's evidence, stating that it was not sufficient to meet the burden of proof required for a conviction. Prosecutors relied largely on circumstantial evidence and investigative connections, but over time, the case faced increasing legal challenges. Issues surrounding evidence, preservation, and the passage of time also became central to the case as it moved through the legal system. In 2023, the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office dismissed the murder charges against Kavon. The decision was based on the conclusion that they could not disprove the defendant's alibi beyond a reasonable doubt and could not move forward with a trial given the available evidence. Additionally, complications were also cited, including issues with physical evidence collected during the early stages of the investigation. Some of that evidence was reported lost or destroyed over the time while in NYPD storage, including during Superstorm Sandy, which further weakened the case. With the dismissal, the case once again came to a halt. There was no conviction, no trial verdict, and no final legal resolution. The murder of Rashawn Brazell remains officially unsolved in court. A suspect was identified and arrest was made. Charges were filed, but the case never reached a conclusion in front of a jury. More than 15 years later, the same question remains. What happened after Rashawn entered the subway system on that morning in 2005? And who was responsible for what happened next? And for his family, the case remains open in the most important way, still waiting for full answers. But before we end this case, let's remember the victim. Rashawn Brazell was only 19 years old when his life was taken in February 2005. He wasn't just a name in the case file or a headline in the news story. He was a son, a friend, and a young man with plans for his future. His mother, Desire, had spoken about the kind of person he was, someone who helped others without being asked, someone who gave food away, shared what he had, and looked out for people in his community. Once she shared something, he told her, "Mom, if I ever leave, I want to be remembered for great things." That's what makes this case even harder, because the life he was building and the impact he was already having was cut short before the world really got to see it. This case is still unsolved in court. There has been no conviction, no final answers. But Rashawn Brazell is not forgotten, and neither is the search for what happened to him. This is the case of Rashawn Brazell. Now let's get into some theories.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Researching through your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
One day you gonna say you. Guys, I'm stuck. Thinking, I have never been to New York, and my wife been to New York. I know, watching Law and Order. I don't know much about New York, but usually on the subways, they do have cameras. Like, am I right? Am I wrong? Because like I know it's like certain like cameras point like when they come in or like when they exit, like you see like the person. And don't you have like a card to like scan, like to get on subway? Guys, I'm very new at this. Like I'm trying my best. So please do not beat me up in these comments, okay? I am trying. I just should have TikTok this, but I really didn't TikTok this. I am so sorry for not being prepared about subways in New York. But I would do better one day. Wife, take me to New York. But I watching like Law and Order and seeing some of the crimes that happen in New York on the subway, they have cameras. They really don't have cameras in a lot of places, but I know they have cameras. So around 2005, I'm looking like, they should have a camera around that time. Is it around 9/11? 9/11? That's after 9/11. So yeah, they should have cameras. They should be more high tech. So I'm trying to figure out how we don't have him on camera. And I know New York has a lot of cameras in different parts. So like I'm confused on why we didn't have a camera anywhere or seeing him get on the subway, seeing who he was with. I really wish like his neighbors like say like, hey, this is how the person looked. Cause like the neighbors saw who he was with. That could have really helped the police a little bit, because I'm kind of glad that this man wasn't really charged. If he didn't do it, okay, but he do seem like a dangerous man. But also I'm glad they counsel like, hey, like we're not gonna take him and try no more, because if he did get convicted, like if he did get set free, they couldn't try again, double jeopardy. So I'm kind of glad like, hey, like our case is not strong at all. But it seemed like they had so many evidence, even with that bag with the blood inside of it. Did we test that, guys? I mean, I feel like we did, but like what came about of it? It's like it's so much stuff that is stuck that I'm stuck on. I feel like it wasn't a stranger. I don't think it was a stranger. I think it was somebody he know, because for that person to buzz and he immediately went down, I don't think the police was ready to take this to trial. I don't think we was ready. I'm going to be honest, and I might get hate. I don't think it was him. It probably was him, but the police aren't giving me a lot of evidence to believe it was him, okay? You're not giving me nothing. They don't have anything. They're like, okay, this might be the guy. But you're not showing me, like, why we think it's him. How?
I feel like it could be the person that buzzed into the apartment complex. Obviously, this person was picking them up. You mentioned it was Valentine's Day, so it could have been somebody, that was DL, or somebody who was homophobic. I don't know how they met. There's not a lot of information, but just coincidentally, you see this person and then what? Like he's gone. The neighbors said that they saw somebody, but I don't know if they could describe the person. The person that they believed was the suspect, did he look similar to, right? So I mean, it's hard to have a theory when you don't have a lot of information.
This case is like a what if situation. Like, what if? It's nothing like, even the police is bringing me hard facts and believing like this may be the guy. Like, when I said like, oh, they might have somebody, I'm like, okay, okay, you guys didn't bring nothing strong for him to be convicted. If you want this man to be convicted, you got to bring something strong for him. And it's like, also, it's hard for his mom, because she's like, oh my God, like we felt my son kill her. And the police like, oh no, we had to let him go because we didn't have a lot of evidence. Like, why did you put her through so much emotions and you didn't have the evidence? Like, her son was building a career. So hard about doing cases with young people who start in their career, for him to say like, Mom, I want to be remembered for my greatness. Like, I want people to remember my name. And it's like, we're not remember his name as how he wanted to be remembered. Like, we remember him like, oh, somebody unalive him in a vicious way. We not remember his greatness. Like, he had an accountant at 19 years old. Like, I do not have an accountant. Like, how do I get an accountant? Like this, he had his future set for him. Now, what happened? Like, somebody killed him so bad. And his mom, like, she had to bury or cremate a half body. She never got her son's head back. Like, what the blank you did with the head? Or like the head probably got like tossed with the other body parts and you just never seen it again.
Oh, that was a trophy.
Ooh, trophy. Yeah, that's a lot of people take. Oh, that was a Criminal Mind episode. He killed all the body, like killed everybody, but he kept the head in a freezer. So many Criminal Minds episodes I could talk about. I'm stuck because it just told me the what if, and I don't have a good theory for you guys. Like, I'm trying, but it's like this case, I am stuck because it's like I don't have the evidence in this case. It's just so small, not a lot of detail, but you know us, we're gonna still bring it to you. I think it was somebody that he knows for sure because he trusts them.
I think it's somebody he recently met.
Like this is a date per se.
Perhaps.
Okay. And I wonder where it was going then.
Because he had told his mom that he was going to go see an accountant. That might have been true, but also trying to buy some time so he can be with his friend. I know when you start dating, a lot of the times you don't want to speak on it too prematurely. You want to get to know the person. But it also, too, depends the type of bond, how comfortable he was with his mom. Did he tell her everything? Did he leave some stuff out? Right? So, I don't know.
I think you could be so close to your parents, you still, like, even your friends, you still could be close to them. But sometimes in your dating life, you do keep things in because you don't want to tell your friends, like, hey, I met this person. Then 2 weeks later, oh, yeah, we didn't, like, work. Like, that was happened to me when I was dating. Like, I met and talked to some people. Then I'm like, hey, like, I got tired of telling my friends about people that I just kept to myself. And then he was 19. Who say this was, like, really a serious dating situationship, you know? Right. He's still young. He's building his career, so that means he probably don't want to settle down yet. I don't blame him, man. I mean, he got an accountant. I am still an accountant.
Right.
We both agree it's the person that buzzed into his apartment, but we don't know who he is or how they met. Dang, detectives, that's for you guys. This is our episode, guys. If you have any more information on this case, please contact us or please contact the police because they need it. They really do need it. And this is our last case of Pride Month, guys. I have so many cases for next month and month after. So many people have been sending me cases and I'm ready to do them, guys. So if you have a case suggestion, send it to me, comment below. I will do your case. I cannot wait. We are on all podcast platforms. YouTube episodes are released on every Friday. So please put your notification thing on. This is Lesbian Detectives. Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye, everybody.
Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it. They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break? Or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Live right now. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message.